consent. That's my consent story. And I was like, what if I would have just not even said that? What if I didn't just think? At that time, I was worried about my daughter. I would have gave up the couple of $100 because I'm not going to put my 3 daughters in a bad situation. I just was not going to do that. Can the police see your bank account during a traffic stop? In this video, I'm going to tell you the truth. There's a whole bunch of rumors that are out there. People are making YouTube videos, TikTok videos. They're saying the police, when they pull you over, when they run your name from your license, that they actually can look into your bank account, and that could cause another level of issues. Now, straight off the bat, I'm going to let you know that police, anytime you have a warrant for your arrest, which makes sense, but some people don't put these two pieces together. People have been arrested from regular traffic stops when it came to not answering a debtor's examination. I just had a gentleman yesterday or the day before contact the office and said, well, Steve, I have this default judgment and they asked me to fill out this questionnaire. And I said, well, is that questionnaire from the attorney or is that from the attorney through the court? And he said, it's from the attorney through the court. I said, you better answer that, because if you look at the fine print, which is not too fine, the only fine about it is that people don't like to read, is that it says, if you don't answer this, that you could be held at contempt of court. So can police, I'm going to get into it, can police see your bank account during a traffic stop? And also, y'all might see that I'm very, very, very excited today. The reason why I'm excited is because I'm going to have a new office chair coming in that I ordered. And this office chair has heat. It has massage. It has an extender for my legs because my what do you call it? Meniscus is ripped in my right knee. Now, here's the crazy thing, and I'm going to get to it. Don't worry, but we're family, right? So you want to know what's going on with me too. So we're going to talk about it. Can the police see your bank account during the traffic stop? I'm going to get to it, but we're not all just about business, right? Crazy thing, a few years back, I tore my left meniscus. I did not know that it was torn. I'm here to tell you that I was walking, and it just kept getting worse and worse over time. When I was walking around, it felt like my bones were rubbing together. And I had went to the doctor. They did all these looking at me, physical therapy, all of this stuff. And then they were like, Steve, we're going to have to do an MRI on you. I don't know why they didn't do that from the beginning. When they looked, they said, you tore your meniscus. And I was like, what is that? They was like, well, it's the little pieces in between your knees that stop the friction of your bones touching each other. And it was so bad when I went to my mother's birthday party in Dallas and I had to fly there. I didn't know if I was going to make it. And even when I got there, my mom was like, will you dance with me with my birthday song? I was like, yeah. And I struggled through it. But y'all, I had a cane. I had actually had to have a cane. And my wife was looking at me, do you really need Daddy's cane? And remember, my wife had a double lung transplant. She was going around with oxygen. And so she's got very high pain tolerance. And she was looking at me and like, are you sure you really need a cane? And she didn't believe me until they showed that test, the MRI results showing that I had a torn meniscus in my left knee. Now, I didn't know. I just thought that the knee was getting weak because I was older. So I was running on it, doing all of these things, and I made it worse. Like, it was bad. Now I know on my right knee, and this must be an age thing because I don't go out there doing crazy exercises and all this stuff. I just do minimal, like not too much in running. I mainly do walking on my treadmill. I don't even do running on my treadmill anymore. And I do the elliptical, the bicycle, all of that stuff in my home gym. And so I know this time not to push it. I know the feeling. I know what that feels like. And just in case you just came in, we're going to talk about, can police see your bank account during a traffic stop? I'm going to get to it. But I was like, I know what that feeling is. I done tore my right knee meniscus because when I sit down, it gets worse. I have to straighten out my leg to get back up. And I was going through all of that with my left knee, but I don't go through that. And when they gave me, here's the crazy thing, when they gave me the MRI results, the doctor said you can have surgery, but when they gave me the results, it must have had healed itself because that same day when the nurse called, my knee felt better. I told them my knee felt better. They said, oh, yeah, because if you give it time, it will heal itself. It will grow back together. It will. And it did that. I testified that without surgery, it healed itself. With this right knee, I'm not doing no running, very minimal exercises to make sure that I don't make it worse. I do not want that bone rubbing together. I don't want that to happen. All right, let's get to it. If a police officer pulls you over, can they see your bank account balance? Some people say yes, other people say it's illegal. Let's clear it up right now. There's a rumor that's spreading online that police officers can instantly pull up your bank account information when they run your name or license. Today, I'm going to explain what's real, what's exaggerated, and what the law actually allows. The rumor comes from a mix of technology fears, law enforcement databases, and companies that analyze large amounts of data. People hear the names like Palantir Technologies. You can invest in that company. Some people won't invest in Palantir because they know that they're a data collector and they don't agree with some of the things that they do. But Palantir is one of the companies. Don't get it mixed up with is it Palantir or whatever, that the bicycle? That's not the company. It's Palantir. Palantir Technologies. And assume police can see everything about you, including your money. But that's not how the law works. So now, the key word that I want you to understand is that the police can see the stuff, but there's certain things that they have to do to be able to see it. That's where the misunderstanding is coming from, is that people think that they can just instantly go in there and see your information on the bank account. They have, at the click of a button, with the signing of a document from the court, from the judge, they will be able to go in there and see it. So now, when police run your license plates, they typically see your name, address, your driving status, outstanding warrants. So if you have any warrants for not coming in for contempt orders or anything, they're going to see it and they can do what they're going to do. Vehicle registration. They cannot legally see your bank balance, transaction history, or account numbers because they pulled you over. I'm going to repeat that again. They cannot legally see your bank balance, transaction history, or account numbers just because they pull you over. What that means is that just because they pulled you over, even though they have access to that information, at the click of a button with the signing of a pen by a judge, they cannot legally go straight into that section. They have this software in their vehicles right now. They have this software in their vehicles right now. So now, your financial records are protected under federal privacy laws. Police generally need one of three things to access your bank information: a court-issued warrant, subpoena, or your consent. So if you're pulled over and you're in a situation, I'll give you an example. This true life thing that happened to me in the 1990s. I used to own a dollar store. Yes, Stephen, I owned a dollar store. Me and my wife owned a dollar store in the 1990s. We got onto the craze of the dollar store craze. I don't know if some of you were born back then or you may have been children back then. And we owned a dollar store, and we used to have to go with a U-Haul trailer behind our minivan. And I had my three daughters. My wife was at the store, had my three daughters. We did a lot of stuff to get our family to the position that we're in. When I think back to that stuff, I'm thinking like at my age now, I wouldn't do it, but back then I was like, we gonna do it. Packed my $3 in the minivan. My wife was running the dollar store, and I'm running down to Chicago to get the products to bring them back up. And I remember these two cops. I was waiting for the products to come from the wholesale place to go put into the back of the U-Haul trailer. I wasn't gonna leave my daughters there unattended. I said, "You got to bring this stuff out, put it in there, and then go." I remember this Chicago police officer. True story. He said he was like, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm getting products from the store." And he said, "Okay, I'm gonna check you out." Like that. That's what he said. "I'm gonna check you out." And I thought he was gonna ask for my ID and stuff like that. This cop basically insinuated, "Give me a few $100 or else." That's what he insinuated to me. This is a true story. This is 1990. This is a true story. I got my $3 in the van, and they're bringing the products out, and this is what this cop says to me. And this is this is exactly what I said. I said, "Oh, I don't know if I should do that, but let me do this. I'm going to call my lawyer. I'm going to call my lawyer." Guess what happened? By the time I looked up, and let me tell you, we didn't have cell phones back then. Back then, there was the prepay and all that stuff. That wasn't running back then. I looked up, and all of a sudden I saw the cop speed off, just tore off. So basically, police officers have a wide leeway of what they can do to you if you give them your consent. That's my consent story. And I was like, what if I would have just not even said that? What if I didn't just think? At that time, I was worried about my daughter. I would have gave up the couple of $100 because I'm not going to put my $3 in a bad situation. I just was not going to do that. But so you got your three things here. You got your three to review. They need to have one of three things to access your bank information: a court-issued warrant, a subpoena, or your consent. That's the key words right there. If you give them consent, they can click the button, and I've never been in a police vehicle, but there could be a box on there that says you gave them consent, and they can go straight into your bank account from their police vehicle. So now here's where people get confused. There are government systems that track financial activities for fraud or money laundering, like reports filed with Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, known as FINCEN, so that must be FinCEN. But those systems are not real-time bank balance lookups. They're not accessible during traffic stops, and they're used for investigations, not for roadside enforcement. So platforms like Palantir don't magically unlock your bank account. They analyze data that law enforcement already legally has, things like court records, arrest data, or license database. No warrants, no bank access. Let me just tell you, you got to go back to what they said, legal. This company does have that information, but there has to be certain things for them to be able to go. It's just, imagine it like this. You have a software program, and you have the mid-level program. You know how on the website they'll have the entry level for $10, the mid-level, they'll be like, everybody gets the mid-level, it's like $59, and then they had the upper level that's like $199, and then you look down the list, and on that list it has, if you're the entry, you only get this amount. When you're the mid-level, you get almost everything that the other level has, the top level. And then you look down, and the top level is like, oh, you get access to this. That's basically what happens, except that it's already paid for by governments, all by local, state and local governments and federal. All they got to do is click a box. You gave them consent. So now let me be clear. Police cannot pull up your checking account balance, see your credit card transactions, view your savings account, access your banking login info. If that ever happened without a warrant, it would be a serious constitutional violation. So that's the key word. That's what I want you to pay attention to. Some of the times when the news say stuff, people are going to focus on it's a serious constitutional violation. Yes, it's a serious constitutional violation. But look at what was stated first. If that ever happened without a warrant, it can't happen with a warrant without them having access, and it can't happen without a warrant without them being able to have access. That's what I want you to understand about this. Fear spreads faster than the facts. When people believe police can see everything, they become controlled easier. That's why understanding your rights matter. Privacy laws still exist. Due process still exists. That's one of the things that we really preach hard on with Summers Master. If you want to learn more about credit, if you want to learn more about getting out of debt, if you want to learn more about how to deal with debt collector lawsuits, you need to subscribe to my channel. If you have debt collector issues, you're being sued, you don't want to end up in this type of situation, what I want you to do is I want you to go to summersmaster.com, where you can get a fully formatted court-ready response to your lawsuit to help get you into the position to win, and you don't have to say, do, learn anything. If you need help with your credit, please visit us at thecreditrepairshop.com. Watch the video, What Makes a Difference, so you can see my 8-point validation process, my 2-phase settlement process. If you need your credit reports and scores, go to the website, your3scores.com, to grab your TransUnion, Equifax, Experian credit reports, and all 3 scores. Thank you for your time. Subscribe to the channel. Post your questions and comments to Stephen A. Williams, president and founder of thecreditrepairshop.com.